Welcome to the Quality Value Selling Program. Today we're going to cover role-playing. Role-playing is an important skill to learn because when you learn it and you do it, you'll be ready for an important meeting. Could be an online meeting, could be face-to-face, could be a cold call, could be a presentation to a group. Role-playing, rehearsal, practice. You'll be ready to go. Just like athletes and entertainers, they practice, they rehearse. When it's game time, when it's show time, they're ready to perform at the optimum level. There's a 3-person role play, a 2-person role play, and if you're in a jam, you can role play by yourself. Look at a mirror, record it on a smartphone. Here's how it works. Ideally, you find a buddy to be the buyer. You find another buddy or a colleague to be the observer. Now the observer has to understand the skills, and you have to tell the buyer what the scenario is. You give them a little bit of a briefing about the account and the challenges and the next step that you're trying to achieve. What roadblocks are you trying to overcome? What's the job title? What's the personality of the person if you know that? Once the buyer's informed, then the observer will look at the checklist to review the skills that you're going to practice. The observer says, ready, set, go. When you hear the word go, you have to pretend you're in the real meeting. It's so important. If you pretend you're in the real meeting as you practice, it'll start to create a pathway in your brain, and you'll be so much more confident when it's really showtime. Now, when the observer says time out, they're going to give you some feedback, and the buyer will give you some feedback. Critical tip for buyers and observers. Make a deposit before you make a withdrawal. It's so important that the seller hear a positive comment first. Then when you give them some criticism or some feedback on how they could improve, they'll just be more open to it. Now sellers, tip for you. Make sure you're in the mindset of being an advisor, almost like a consultant. Don't think that your job is to sell. You know, I'm an account manager, I'm a sales rep, I'm a business development manager. Just take all that out of your mind. Your job is to help the buyer make the best procurement decision for their business. And if you really and truly do that, you'll be rewarded with more sales. And that's worth practicing for. All right, good luck. Get out there and do some role playing.